How is it possible that with all the available technology and resources, these ships keep destroying bridges and taking away so many innocent lives? On February 22nd, just over a month before the Baltimore incident, a container ship collided with the Linxincha Bridge near the mouth of the Pearl River in the city of Guangzhou, China, causing a part of the bridge to collapse and the free fall of a bus, a motorcycle, and a van that were on that stretch. In a press conference later that day, it was announced that 5 people couldn't survive the fall. One of them was the driver of this medium-sized green bus, a rider on an electric motorcycle, and 3 people inside the van. There were no passengers on the bus. Inside the ship, the bus and the electric motorcycle fell with bridge debris and the van fell into the water. As we can see in these images courtesy of Xinhua, the affected people were immediately flown by helicopter to a special medical center. In less than a month, it will be the 44th anniversary of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge collapse in Tampa, Florida. On May 9, 1980, thick fog covered everything. Suddenly, the MV Summit Venture, a huge ship, veered off course due to strong winds and collided with the bridge during a severe thunderstorm. It was a major disaster. 8 vehicles, including 6 cars, a truck, and a bus, fell some 150 feet into the water, and 35 people couldn't survive the incident. There was only one survivor, Wesley McIntyre, whose car first fell onto the ship and then into the water, giving him time to escape and swim to the surface. It was a quiet afternoon in the metropolitan region of Rio de Janeiro when an unexpected event shattered the calm. The Niterói River Bridge, a vital connection between cities, is threatened by an imminent danger. At around 6:30 in the evening, a huge drifting ship approaches the majestic structure of the bridge unsettlingly. Transporting grains, the vessel is dragged by uncontrolled winds, defying its fate. The strong winds in the region have unleashed a storm that challenges everything in its path. The ship's anchor yields to the pressure, unleashing chaos in its trajectory.
O navio calhou, mané, vai batendo na ponte de Niterói, mané, aqui o navio. Aqui, ó. Caralho, bateu na ponte aqui, ó.
After the strong impact that shook the vehicles on the bridge, the Coast Guards, who were alerted of the situation beforehand, managed to close the bridge to assess the damage. On May 26, 2002, near Webbers Falls, Oklahoma, the I-40 bridge faced an unforeseen challenge. After the pilot fainted, a barge sailing on the Arkansas River collided with the bridge supports, causing a section to collapse into the river below. Cars were trapped in the unexpected chaos because no one saw it coming. Of the 11 vehicles that fell into the water with 19 people, sadly 14 couldn't be rescued, including Shade Johnson, who was only 3 years old. Do you think this bridge will be able to stop the huge ship and survive the attack? Whatever the result, the pilot had better say goodbye to his job because the insurance deductible for repairs won't be cheap. I don't rejoice in others' misfortune, but what should make us glad about all of this is that there were no people on the bridge who could have been affected. Less than a week after the tragic incident at one of North America's most important ports in Baltimore, the pilot of this ship lost control in Oklahoma and collided with the bridge, rendering it out of service. Just before the impact, this heavy cargo truck appears on the highway. Do you think it will manage to cross before the collision? Luckily, it manages to cross the river before the ship hits the bridge pillar, but seconds later, 2 more cars show up from the opposite direction, and the ship is just a few feet away from impact. The vehicles on the bridge tremble, and a sound like heavy artillery in action is heard. Fortunately, the ship was not carrying heavy cargo and only caused a couple of cracks in one of the bridge abutments. After the Port Authority helped tow the barge, the bridge was reopened by the end of the day. A Russian cargo vessel with an allegedly intoxicated captain collided with the Gwangan Bridge on the southeast coast of South Korea. The 6,000-ton Seagrand hit the bridge before reversing. There was significant damage to the ship, and a hole approximately 5 by 7 feet was created in the lower level bridge's metal structure. Overall, the metal structure was scratched in approximately 16 square feet, but no other personal injuries were reported. The captain's blood alcohol content exceeded the legal limit. The Seagrand also collided with a yacht moored in the harbor at the time of departure. Before the collision, the ship had unloaded iron pipes in Busan and was heading to Vladivostok, Russia, carrying steel coils. In the afternoon of September 4, 2018, Japan's 5th Regional Coast Guard received a call from the 300-foot-long, 2,600-ton tanker Honmaru, which was being swept by the winds of Typhoon Jebi No. 21. "The ship is floating. The crew is being evacuated to the engine room," informed the ship's spokesman. The tanker collided with a bridge connecting Kansai Airport to the city of Izumisano, Osaka Prefecture. The tanker struck the bridge's side, causing the bridge to detach. The connecting railways that passed through the bridge and the highway between Kansai International Airport and the opposite coast were closed. 8 days later, on September 12th, the removal of the destroyed beam began on the bridge connecting to Kansai International Airport, where traffic was restricted in both lanes due to the airport flooding from Typhoon Jebi. The towboat Chad Pragrag collided with a dock on the Mississippi River in Vicksburg, Mississippi, while pushing 30 barges loaded with grain. 1 barge sank and 3 were damaged, with a total of $800,000 in damages. No injuries or pollution were reported. The tow was rebuilt in 4 days, and the river reopened to traffic on March 1, 2019. This is the moment when a freighter has a steering failure and heads straight for one of the main pillars of the complex Union National Bridge in Zárate, Buenos Aires province, Argentina. It can be clearly seen that it's all properly lit and the engines never stop working at any moment. The curious thing is how it heads directly towards one of the key pillars of the bridge. This was the damage caused to the ship, a huge hole that filled with water and required careful towing to prevent sinking. And although the damage to the bridge was not critical, its structure was compromised as seen in the images. Part of the pillar's concrete deteriorated, and repairs are estimated to be not as costly as those for the cargo ship. The collapse of the bridge caused by a cargo ship that shocked the world occurred on the 26th of last March, in which the 100,000-ton container ship lost power and collided with one of the main pillars of the key bridge near the port of Baltimore, one of the busiest in North America. The metal structure collapsed, taking with it the roads in both directions, and although vehicular traffic managed to stop, 6 workers repairing the roads at the time could not be evacuated. Although they are still thoroughly investigating all aspects of the incident, I'll leave you a link to the video of what happened inside the Dali ship when it knocked down the bridge in the description below and at the end of this video. The Cooperative Spirit tugboat collided with the eastern tower pier of the Hale Boggs Memorial Bridge on the lower Mississippi River near Luling, Louisiana, causing the tow to break. 1 barge sank and others were damaged, with a total of $1.65 million in damages. No injuries or pollution were reported either. The vessel, built in 1975, operated with a crew of 9, including a captain and a pilot on a 6-hour watch cycle. The bridge connected DESTROYING and Luling, Louisiana with navigable channels.